What's the worst thing about homeschooling? There's a couple different big options that stand out to me. It might be the annual testing that causes everyone to feel a little nauseous at the end of the year. It could be the whole no break thing, right? Like, our kids don't go to school. There's no break when they're gone for 6 or 8 hours. Could be that. If you're wondering, is homeschooling worth it? I'm participating in a super fun collab with Daisy at Journey in the Home, and we're talking about, is homeschooling really worth it? The playlist will be in the description, so be sure to check it out so you can see what's the worst thing about homeschooling and is it really worth it? So testing, is it really all that bad? To be honest, some days I think not. So let's move on to the next one. The no break thing. Yeah, the no break thing is pretty rough. Some days I wish I could have a break. Some days I think, man, if I could put my kids on a bus and just go back to bed, that sounds kind of fabulous. No break means the kids are always home, so you don't really get a chance to clean without them there. I remember one time talking to a mom whose children went to school, and she was like, oh, I just cleaned all day and then watched like 6 hours of Grey's Anatomy. And I was like, yeah, that sounds really great. Not particularly Grey's Anatomy, but cleaning for 2 hours and having your house spotless followed by like 6 hours of binge watching television. I mean, who doesn't want that? Okay, literally not me, but some people do want to do that. And I will say that having a break from all the things does sound nice certain days. It could be that everyone thinks for some reason that you're going to be socially awkward or quiet. I heard that one a lot. People would meet me and they'd be like, oh, you were homeschooled, that's why you're so quiet. I'm not even a quiet person. I don't even know why they said that. I think they were just louder than me, and it wasn't because they went to public school, it's just a personality. I feel like the stigma has changed a little bit in the last 5 years, but man, growing up, when I told people I was homeschooled, they looked at me like I had just grown a second head. It might be the extra effort it takes for all the other activities. Now, since I wasn't public schooled either, I can't speak to the effort that goes into it for a public schooler or a public schooler's parents, but I can speak to the extra effort it took my mom and me to do the homeschool things. All of my music classes, all of my writing classes, all of my language classes, all of my horse riding lessons, all of my children's activities now, because I'm passing that on, they all require a lot of extra effort. Driving to and fro, social activities, which can be a pro, like I dictate what social activities they have, but all of those I have to make an extra effort for. It's not like you just stay after school and they're gone a couple extra hours. Nay, I'm driving them. All of these extracurricular, they usually cost a lot of extra time, but they certainly cost a lot of extra money. When you're homeschooling, you're paying all that out of pocket. At least that's been my experience. I know my mom paid for all of my classes out of pocket, and I know that I'm paying for my kids' extracurricular activities out of pocket. So it could be that. It could be extra effort and extra expense when it comes to extracurricular activities. Teaching. It could just be the teaching, the every single day that you're teaching, right? Let's not even get into the emotional, physical, and mental drain it has on a person to teach tiny humans for 24 hours a day. But even just the dedicated teaching time, I mean, we all know as homeschoolers, we know it's a drain and it's exhausting. So have you figured it out yet? Do you know what the very worst thing about homeschooling is yet? After a lot of deep thought, I realized that the worst thing about homeschooling is the responsibility of all of those things combined. The testing, the teaching, the no break, the extracurriculars, the parenting 24/7. All of these things combined are what is the worst thing about homeschooling. The responsibility of all of that together. Because looking at that, realizing all the things that I am required to do on a daily basis or weekly or monthly or annually makes my blood pressure rise just a little bit. Not only as parents are we responsible for the basics, food, water, shelter, doctors, health, anything like that. All of those things we're already responsible for, all of their clothing, all of the other stuff, right? All of their social activities and their mental health, their interests and pursuits. Not only as parents are we caring for all of that, but then we're also doing the homeschooling portion. When you add in, on top of all those basics, all those basic things, you add in 12 years of an education, right? Where you're teaching anything from reading or phonics to algebra 2, right? It's a lot. It's a lot. And it can be incredibly scary and overwhelming. But it's also amazing. It's amazing and it's an honor to have that responsibility and to be able to take care of my children in the way that I think they should be taken care of. So if you're feeling a little lightheaded after watching this video, don't forget to watch the playlist and hear other moms' experiences about whether homeschooling is worth it or not. And if you need a little extra encouragement after that, I'll also include my list of homeschool books that I highly recommend for all homeschool moms. Be sure to watch the playlist, and you can always come back and watch my list of 7 homeschool mom books that have really helped me in my homeschool journey. I'm Tiffany, the Happy Homeschooler, and this is the worst thing about homeschooling.